Alright, I received my MixFader a couple of days ago and I wanted to make kind of a little review. So this is the packaging, which is really good, but which in my opinion is really big for what it is, because the MixFader itself is only taking so much space in the box. The box though is pretty cool and it's like in a foam thing. So you take it out, and once you take it out, I will show you the MixFader again in a few minutes. You see two things. You see something here where you can actually strip it out, and you see inside it says for more info, find more inside. So you open it this way, and then you end up with a very good thing, which is the back of this card shows you how to use your MixFader. And yeah, basically the not so cool things about the MixFader, which I will tell you, which is the sticky thingies, whatever, how you should do it, and the worst thing, which is the sticky thingy on your iPad or phone or Android or whatever. Anyways, the also, before I come to the amazing parts, the also not so cool part I found was that this foam here is actually set optimal. I would say it's very like not professionally cut or whatever. I was not so, yeah, I was negatively surprised, but yeah, it's not a big deal. The other thing which bothers me a little bit is that there is a little bit of paper for explaining, which is really unnecessary, because basically it could have been on this one card that I showed you before. Sure, it's all in all languages, but they could just put a website, and I guess they have to put the warranties. I don't know. I guess they have to ship the warranties, but that's a lot of paper for me, anyways. Uh, and then inside you have a cable, a micro USB cable. Yeah, it's nice, but then again, everybody has one. So the question is, do we need to ship one? Anyways, and then the other thing you have, which I still have one because I only use three, are those guys. So those guys are basically microsection things that you're supposed to put on the back on whatever your like your iPad, for example. So I'm gonna use my iPad in this case, and I I had stick three of those actually because I figured out I'm not gonna need four, and so this is the thing which I'm not really happy about the situation right now. Is everything is awesome, but this is not a solution. For one thing, those guys, you have to wash them every time after you use them. The other thing is they get out sometime of the iPad itself. Maybe because I stick it on the wrong place the second time, but anyway, I will stick it again. So every time I put this guy in my bag or whatever, I take it out, and those guys fall apart anyways. Uh, so let's come to the the good parts. Oh, before, one last bad part is, again, that box could be way smaller. The packaging could be smaller. I understand that they want the packaging to be seen in the stores or whatever. And the other thing is they could really give the case with. You have to buy the case for like 19 euro, I think, or something like that, and there is no pictures of the actual case of it is. I'm not sure it's even finished. So what I end up doing, like probably many people will end up doing, is carrying their MixFader in the box, which is a big box for the size of the MixFader. So here's the MixFader in itself, which is really cool. Again, sticking like with micro sections, so it sticks really well. That's not the question, but the problem is that at one point it's gonna basically stop sticking. Probably, I guess. Anyway, you stick it somewhere. There comes the awesome part. I'm gonna do this on my iPad. Um, so you have an app, many apps. As you can see here, let me turn this guy. I have here Edjing Scratch and Edjing Pro, and I've been trying with to check it out if it was working with DJ Pro. It's not, but I don't right now. I don't care because I mainly use Edjing Scratch because I figured out Edjing Pro is not that good for scratching. At least I don't know what happened, but the um, the amazingness of this guy is not reproducible on Edjing Pro. Like the crossfader isn't. Um, yeah, the latency is just like regular Bluetooth latency. So here comes the latency part, which is awesome. This is Edjing Scratch. The UI in itself is already awesome. So you have, for many stuff, you have like A and B discs. Let me see if I can put this the highest you can, so you can hear from my iPad. And so the cool thing is also they deliver, let me see, they deliver tracks. So you have a basic instrumental and a basic samples and loops. I haven't tried the loops yet. And so this is what I'm using right now, like everybody does. You can also connect it, that's also pretty cool, to SoundCloud. But I'm hoping that at one point you'll be able to connect it to obviously Spotify and maybe Apple Music, I don't know. And so basically the way it works is since I've been using this guy, the MixFader on other devices, I'm probably gonna have to sync it again, because the crossfader is here, and right now you see it doesn't work. But it's my fault because I use it on many devices, so I have to resynchronize it, so I have to go in the settings again. And I'm not showing you too near the setting. Wait, let me take this out. So I'm gonna go into settings and say add a MixFader, and I think it's actually turned off, yeah, because I turned it off. There's a little light, yeah, which you can see just at the bottom of the video. Let me unstick this guy. So there is a little light here. There's one button, only one button basically, and for the rest it's a regular crossfader, like many DJs knows it. And on the other side there is a micro USB port where you can charge it. I would rather have a USB-C port, by the way. Anyway, let's see if it finds it. Now it found it really right away. Select the MixFader. I only have one. Connecting, it's connected. So then the other cool thing is you can have many MixFader, because you can use the MixFader for crossfading, which everybody will use it to, but you can also use it for the pitch, for the volume, for the phaser and whatnot. I can show you, for example, for the pitch, for example, if I use it for the pitch on deck B, for example, then I can close it, and if I play the deck B, and so I can use it for the pitch, you see? You can see this move. Okay, so I'm going to configure it again for the crossfader, but again, you can use it for the pitch, for the volume, for the phaser. So I can imagine the settings where you have many crossfader, many MixFader sticking everywhere, which is interesting. Or maybe there is a product idea for, yeah, like a MixFader mixing table with many MixFaders and everything sent over Bluetooth. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going back to the crossfader because this is what we want to show, and I'm gonna play the music on the deck. On the deck. Oh, the pitch has a reset button, which is very convenient, and also there is a volume button here. And so I'm gonna put the volume down for the soundtrack. And for whatever reason, oh yeah, it was 2 down. Alright, cool. And so I'm gonna move to the deck A, so you can see the deck A. And now you can see here, if you look at the bottom, my crossfader, sorry. So I'm here on B, and then I go to A, and so on and so forth, okay? And so now let's see in actual use case, like, yeah, one thing that I love, by the way, I'm gonna stop the B, is what you can stop B and A directly here. But one thing that I love is that and it's the first time that I see that, they actually have the waveform on the vinyl itself, which is pretty awesome. I'm gonna close the FX here. It was open, but because you can have many effects like yeah, reverb and blah blah blah, I'm not gonna show you that, and the loops and cues and whatever. But yeah, so here the waveform goes from there to there, and here starts the new waveform. But that's very cool because you basically scratch on a waveform, which is basically what you want to do because it's like, you know, having a marker, but it's better than a marker. It's the waveform itself. And then for the rest, you just scratch. And I'm gonna do a little demo, and then I will speak again a little bit. All right, so let's go. Warning, I'm not the best scratcher in the world. Wait. So that's it basically. The thing that I that they need to work on basically is there's no actual way to do beat juggling right now because you don't see both vinyls. It would be awesome if, like, being in, you know, in landscape mode we would have both vinyls, or even in portrait mode, like both of them, whatever. The other thing is, this guy here, the crossfader, is not controllable directly on the interface, which is in itself okay. But the problem is when you are then using your MixFader for something like an effect or whatever, or the volume or whatever, then if this guy is totally on the B, there is no actual way to change it. The only way is by doing it via the hardware. So that's kind of a problem. Besides that, this is very amazing app for version 1, and really this, as far as I'm concerned, I'm totally sold, and actually I'm really seriously thinking about selling all my Serato stuff, and so yeah, that's, I would say that's kind of a statement. So yeah, thumbs up. And if I would have to give this guy a number out of 10, I would probably give 7, because I'm a very hard guy. But it's a 7, which goes in the direction of an 8, and yeah, and I would love to keep on checking out what those guys do. Thanks, bye, peace.